Hola, konnichiwa, tudo bem, como estás? Hello, what it do? So today we're going to start talking a little bit about Jimmy Butler. I created this channel after the whole Jimmy Butler incident, but I think it's worth actually discussing a little bit because it goes under the radar. A lot of things go under the radar because right now there's a lot going on with the NBA. The All-Star game was around this time, I think, or Jimmy got traded right before it or something like that. There was drama around that, and then there's been a lot of Stephen A. Smith and LeBron drama. So some stories are getting thrown under the shed. But I wanted to touch on this Jimmy Butler story because I never got a chance to, and my thoughts on it. I've always been a supporter of Jimmy Butler, but I really don't think I liked what I saw on his way out the Heat. I just don't like the behavior of grown men sitting out, getting fined, doing things against the team, because it's one thing to be mad at Pat Riley or Eric Spoelstra, but you're on a team, man, and you're letting down your teammates. And of course, nobody's going to put a mic in these times up to the teammates, but I'd love to hear what Bam Adebayo thinks about what Jimmy Butler did. And recently, they played the Golden State Warriors. I'm not sure if this clip is before or after the game. I feel like this might have been before the game, but I'm not sure. Please don't quote me on that. You can fact check me, and I'll humbly bow in either direction. But I did watch the game when they actually played, and Bam went nuts. Well, as good as Bam can play. And Jimmy had like 6 points, so he was buns. But what's interesting is just listening to him talk about it, man. He was very nonchalant about it. I just don't like the energy, man. And I've always been a Butler fan, and I supported the stuff he did before, like when he went off on the Wolves, because I didn't think that they wanted to win. I thought they needed an aggressive kick in the tail. But what he did with the Heat, I didn't see this as an alpha mentality. I thought this was quitting. So let's listen to what he had to say, and then we'll just dissect that. This isn't going to be a long video. We're going to do more Jimmy Butler things because I want to discuss this a little bit. Because this is a story where you look at Jimmy, you think he's an alpha, but then he just kind of acts like a child to me. Acts like the rest of these guys when they don't have something going their way. And I don't like it because ultimately, yeah, there's super millionaires and everything like that. And I know they're not regular people as far as money is concerned. But you like to see people act with more respect. And I guess if we had the ability to do that in our lives and had that much money, would we act like children too? Some of us would. But I'm not a fan of seeing this behavior. But let's listen to what he had to say.
You curious what kind of reception you get?
Not really. It don't make me no difference. I'm a member of the Golden State Warriors. I love that fan base. They showed me a lot of love while I was there. But I'm there to win now. I'm on the opposing team.
When you look back at your career in Miami, how would you categorize what the team was able to do while you were there?
We was all right. We didn't win nothing like we were supposed to. So, I don't know. We made some cool runs. We had some fun. I think that's all we did.
So that's Jimmy Butler's thoughts on his time in Miami. And listen, I mean, he said what he said, but there was a part of me that's listening to this like, dang, bro, like, it's not about being mad at Pat Riley and Eric. Like, you're really just downplaying your teammates too. He's like, and the fan, I don't care if they cheer or not, I'm on another team. And yeah, he's right. And there's a part of you that's like, he's not sensitive, so that's good. And I mean, Jimmy checks a lot of boxes, man. Like, he gets better in the playoffs. That's when you want to get better. But for some reason, I just didn't like the way this whole thing rubbed me. The petulant childness of it just bothers me with these men because they're just very selfishly only caring about themselves. And I get it. We all go through these phases. We all have these moments where we want to be selfish, but I'm sorry. I just expect more of people that have that much power and money and influence. And maybe I shouldn't. So maybe I should just keep my mouth shut and let Jimmy do what he wants to do. But him saying he doesn't care if the fans cheer, you spent a lot of time there, man. You got to the finals twice. For you, that's good. You're not, respectfully, Jimmy, you're not an all-time great. Your runs might be as far as you can go. But you came from nothing. I know you had a tough upbringing. You know, you made your way through the Bulls. You made your way through the Wolves. You should have potentially won one on the Sixers. And that fell apart. But, you got to the finals twice and just didn't have enough to finish it. But, I would think that he still just sounds salty to me. Which, as a human being, I can understand. But again, I don't like the vibes, man. I don't like the vibes from this. And I'm trying to be more nice, more respectful, but nobody wants to see millionaires crying over a few dollars when you're already making like 50 mil, because that's really what this all comes down to. Jimmy be out a lot. He hasn't won a championship, and he plays good. I'm not saying he doesn't play much better in the playoffs. He's really good. But he doesn't really play great in the regular season most of the time either. So, I mean, you want big-time money. You're getting older. You were hurt. You were talking trash. I actually agree with Pat Riley. Last year, Pat Riley, this whole thing broke down, in my opinion, and maybe they'll do a doc on it. But it broke down when Pat Riley, Jimmy was like, y'all better be glad I wasn't playing. And Pat's like, my dude, you're not playing. Why are you talking? Be quiet. Worry about getting back on the court. Pat's old school. I'm old school too. Like, I don't know why you would be talking on the bench if I was playing. That sounds like some stuff a fan would say. But if you in the league and you were elite, I don't know if Jimmy's elite, but he's a top player. Worry about getting healthy. Get back. Now you mad because your owner, or excuse me, your GM, who's like, a no-nonsense, no-tolerance type dude, was like, bro, just get back. Don't worry about what are you talking about. That's not going to help us this year. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like Jimmy kind of wanted more kid gloves a little bit in the situation. And Pat Riley was like, nah, I'm going to drop the hammer. And I agree with Pat Riley. At some point, you got to take the power back from these dudes. All of them are acting way out of line. They get way too much of what they want, and they shouldn't. Because none of us should be able to have our cake and eat it too. Understand what I'm saying? You shouldn't be able to dictate where you're going as a player as far as being traded and stuff like that. That's not how the system is set up. Now, if you have a good relationship with your owner and you treat him right, then fine. Good things will happen to you. That's everything in life. It's all about relationships. But you want to act like a spoiled, petulant child and get what you want? Nah. Me personally, I'd send you to Timbuktu. My job is to make sure that the team is the best it can be for the fans and for the city, not for you. Now, if you're a good person and a model citizen, then yes, you should do the best you can for them. But they start acting nuts, ship them to Cambodia. That's what I do. That's what I would do in a heartbeat. And any other player that had a problem with it, I would explain the situation to them directly. I did this because he did this. If you don't do stuff like that, we'll always figure something out and work in agreement. Jimmy was going to the media, telling all the stuff. You're not supposed to do that, man. We can't go to our jobs, get mad. If you're a contractor or something like that, and somebody lays you off of a job or you just lose a job, you run out there to the streets on social media telling everybody business. You think your next employer won't see that? So, sports is a little different because there's millions of dollars involved, obviously. But it's a shame because as a fan, you sit and you watch this stuff, and you're like, where's the accountability? That's all we want as fans, accountability. You want to be able to relate to people that are hardworking, that show up to work, that are good to the fans, and good to their coworkers, and respectful of those in power above them. But that's not what we're seeing from these guys. And I didn't like what I saw from Jimmy. I just didn't. We're going to do some more Jimmy stuff. Please check it out. It doesn't always have to be about the same old things. People will sit up here and they'll say, oh, you only talk about this guy, you only talk about that guy. That's the only videos y'all listen to. That's the only stories y'all want to get into. Get into a different story. We need to bring back the old NBA where it wasn't just Michael Jordan, man. It was Pat, it was Charles, it was Malone, Stockton, Reggie. And then when in the other days when Kobe was playing, it was AI, T-Mac, Vince, Shaq, Chris Webber. You know what I'm saying? Garnett, Dirk, Duncan. There's a lot of dudes to talk about. We talked about all of them. Now we're just stuck in this cycle. We talk about the same 2 or 3 guys, man. Let's do some other stories. So thank you for your time. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hang on a little bit when the video is coming to an end because I'm suggesting some other videos to you that you really might be interested in watching if you like this one. And even if you didn't like this one, check out some of the other ones. You might like one of them. I'm sure there's something there that you'll like. Thank you. Much love. That somehow you never get over leaving.